Hello everyone and welcome to a Sigma update video. We haven't done one of these for a little while, so we thought we'll recap what we've been getting up to this month. Here with Tim.
Hello.
And I'm Matt.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Yeah, it has been a while. I think the last time we did a sort of a Facebook, YouTube video like this was for the two new lenses that we had, which are the 24 and the 20mm, both art lenses, f1.4, and they're both DG DN, so they're designed for mirrorless cameras. Really good lenses, and they're doing really well at the moment, which is great.
Yeah, we'll come on to those a bit later.
Yeah. We'll have a bit, just a quick recap on those later. But I think the big news probably at the moment for Sigma is that we've got this big cashback promotion on, which so if it's on 6 lenses. So if you're kind of interested in investing in a lens, well worth having a look at the cashback first, because it might be that the lens you want is one of those 6, or something similar to what you want is one of those 6. Yeah. And we've got those 6 here, haven't we? The 6 cashback lenses.
Yeah, and the lenses that we've got the 14 to 24, we've got the 24 to 70, the 28 to 70, the 85mm, 100 to 400mm, and the 150 to 600 DG DN. All of them are DG DN lenses, both in Sony E-mount and L-mount. So yeah, big selection to choose from.
Yeah, so there's kind of, I guess you can kind of split them down a little bit. So the 24-70 and the 28-70 are kind of standard zooms, I guess. So so these two are kind of sort of similar lenses, really. That one's a bit bigger and heavier, but then it starts at 24, whereas that starts at 28. So it's horses for courses, I guess. You either have the sort of slightly heavier lens with a bit more width on it, or the slightly more zoomed in one that's a bit lighter and smaller. Both excellent lenses, optically very similar, very good, both f2.8. The 24mm's got a couple of extra features on it. It's got an AFL button on it, for example, that can be customised. And then the 85mm, that's a portrait lens, isn't it, really? I guess most people use it for f1.4.
Yeah, f1.4, beautiful bokeh backgrounds, so to get that atmospheric soft look in your videos and your portrait work. Yeah, it's absolutely ideal.
It is.
What we got there? Yeah,
this is the 14-24, so this is quite a wide lens. Won a lot of awards because it's so sharp. It really is, even at f2.8, it's super, super sharp. Brilliant bit of kit, that.
Again, perfect for landscape, astrophotography, so it's kind of right up there with the best of them. Yeah. What have we got next?
And that I'll just say as well, that one's got the rear filter holder on it. So if you just shoot landscapes, for example, and you want to put an ND filter on, this has got a fixed petal hood, which makes it more difficult to put it on the front. You can get adapters, but it's a bit more difficult. But it's got the rear filter holder, so you can just slide one in the back, and they're about the size of an SD card, so nice and small. And then,
so next up, we've got the Sigma 100 to 400mm. Again, quite a long focal length, great for sport, great for wildlife. But as you found out recently, brilliant for landscape photography.
Oh yeah, I took it to the Peak District at the weekend. So we're filming a video up there, and it's part of our Britain's Best Landscapes series. So this was episode 2 that we filmed, so that'll be out soon, so look out for that. So it was just shooting as many nice landscapes as we could in the peaks over the course of a day, which not very long, but but yeah, really good fun. Got some nice weather at sunrise. In fact, I think, should we flash a couple of shots?
Yeah, we could bring a couple up.
I'll bring a couple. Let's have a look at a couple of 100 to 400 shots. So so this first one was taken from the top of Crome Hill. Really nice light, a beautiful light.
Yeah, you're really lucky with all of the mist that you've got. Is that common up there at all? Or?
Do you know, we met a photographer up there, and he said he'd been going there for like 8 years and had never got a temperature inversion up there. So we were really lucky to just turn up and get one. But beautiful part of the world, really is. And the autumn colours were almost perfect. We're probably about a week early for the best colour, but amazing. Got all the mist rolling in, very still conditions, brilliant. And that 100 to 400 is so good for, that sort of compressed perspective look. I think when you hear 100 to 400, you think,
again, sports, wildlife,
aviation,
typical everyday
that kind of stuff. But actually it's a brilliant landscape lens, and we get a lot of landscape photographers buy that because it's actually quite small and light, so you can throw it in your bag and you shoot your telephoto landscapes really easily.
You can experiment with lenses that you already may have as well. Anything with a telephoto range can be ideal for that as well, can't it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah. We've got, I think, one of our ambassadors, Joe Cornish, uses this lens, in fact, which is 150 to 600. Again, mainly a wildlife lens, really. That's its bread and butter kind of thing. But yeah, a really useful lens for landscapes.
Yeah, and the 150 to 600, again, why it's so good for sport, for landscapes. Again, being a sports series lens, they're better weather sealed, aren't they? So quite tough in any sort of colour elements, really.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, fantastic. And there's lots of features on this lens as well. We've got the torque zoom ring, which we didn't have on the previous 150-600. So that's just a switch, a switch on the side here, which has L, T, and S settings. L is lock, T is tight, so that it's quite hard to move the zoom ring. It's quite a lot of resistance.
Yeah, gives you fine precision movement if you need it.
Yes, exactly. And S is quite smooth. And with S, you can sort of pull in and out, which is great. Push-pull zoom. So it's a really good lens.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Amazing. And again, the cashback runs until the end of next month, isn't it?
Yeah. And how much are we getting off these, Matty? Can you, off the top of your head, can you remember this? Because there's two different amounts.
Yeah. So it's up to £170. Both the 14 to 24 millimeter and the 150 to 600 both have £170 off, whilst all the other lenses are £85.
I'm glad you remembered that. I wouldn't have got it wrong. So yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. So 85 off those four. Yeah, 85 off those four, 170 off those two. So, yeah, fantastic.
Lovely. And more information can be found on the Sigma website. So be sure to check that out, and Facebook, Instagram, all on there as well.
Brilliant. Yeah. So, and when did that run until? End of November.
End of November.
Yeah,
yes,
end of November. Yeah, we're in October. Yeah. So you got about 5 weeks or so before that runs out. So, yeah, brilliant. So on to the next thing. Do we want to just have a quick look at those two new releases, the 24 and the 20?
Yeah,
and just
let's
a bit of
recap those.
These. Pop those there. Okay.
Yeah, lovely. So again, last month we launched both the 20 and 24 millimeter f1.4 DG DN lenses. Both are absolutely fantastic for astrophotography, street photography, getting your buildings in, your interiors, all that kind of sort of stuff, plus a 1.4 aperture, so letting lots of light for those low-level light shots that you may need. So, yeah. They've been doing quite well, haven't they?
They have, yeah. The 20mm has kind of been picked up as an astro lens, I think, mainly. Landscapes and astro, but astrophotographers love it because it's very, pretty wide angle. You can get wider, of course, you can go into 14 or even 11 with some manufacturers, but 20 is about right probably for most astrophotographers. And it's got that f1.4 aperture, which is very fast, of course, so you're letting huge amounts of light into the lens. In fact, Sigma actually was the first company in 2015 to come up with a 20mm f1.4, and I think we still are the only company to have one. So yeah, it is, in terms of width and light collection, it is unique. Yeah, and again, this is on the 20mm is the revised version of the older Art Series lens. So this is the DG DN version of the lens. Again, both for Sony and L mount, same with the 24mm. So perfect for your mirrorless systems, keeping it nice and light. One of the great features about it as well, again, remember that we've got this little lip on the front. So if you've got a lens heater retainer, especially again for astrophotography, you can pop that on there, saves it falling off, and then keeps all the night dew off your lens whilst you're trying to take your long exposure shots. Good little feature, that. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, and both have aperture rings, both are declickable, so you can, if you're shooting, take the lock off. Yeah, if you're shooting, if you can hear. So that's the click, and then if I switch the declicker. So yeah, really nice. Both have got that, and they've both got rear filter holders as well as front filter threads, so you can put a filter on the front and on the back super easy. Which is again really very unique for the 20mm 1.4. Again, the previous version had the attached lens had like 14 to 24mm. Yeah. So to have the ability to put two filters on this is amazing, really. It is. It is. Yeah. Again, astro, brilliant for astro, that, because you can put like a light pollution filter on the front, soft filter on the back. Your setup. Perfect. Yeah. So, and then the 24mm. Again, with that slight difference of the 24, makes the size reduce down a bit more. So if you're a bit weight conscious of what you're taking around with you, 24 is absolutely ideal. Don't be weight conscious.
No,
a long way off that.
Regular,
oh yeah. Yeah, they're actually quite similar in feature sets, aren't they? They're quite similar. Like to look at, they're really similar. Like all the same buttons and all the same, the same aperture ring and the same look and feel, the same rear filters. But I think that's probably more an Astro lens, and that's probably more like a street, weddings, bit of landscapes.
Yeah, bit of everything.
Bit of an all-rounder, that one. Yeah, amazing.
Lovely. And again, slightly earlier on in the year as well, we also launched the 16 to 28 millimeter.
Oh,
so this little one.
Thing of beauty. Thing of beauty.
So this is again a DG DN lens, f2.8. Again, very wide angle lens for your landscape shots. Again, absolutely perfect for any other sort of kind of types of photography that you really want to shoot. So
yeah, I like this lens because when I shoot landscapes, I tend to shoot within that 16 to 28 range. The 14 to 24 I love, but sometimes you just want a little bit extra on the top. You're like, I just need to go in a bit more. And 28 seems to be about right. I think once you get beyond that, you're into more sort of specialist kind of shots. I think, or, but great lens. Filter thread on the front, of course. So. You can easily attach a filter holder. Yeah. Brilliant. Super small and light. I think it weighs, 450 grams or something like that? It's pretty light. Yeah. You can put that in your bag.
Due to the weight as well, again, and it keeps the balance level throughout the whole range. So a lot of users are using this for videography because it can be attached onto a gimbal and be zoomed without having to change the balance of your gimbals as you're going along. So it's very, very handy for that.
Yeah, that's right, because it's got an internal zoom mechanism, so it doesn't extend when you zoom in and out. And the centre of gravity pretty much stays exactly the same when you zoom in and out. So yeah, some zoom lenses, you've got to rebalance the gimbal every time you zoom in. Yeah, nightmare.
Big cumbersome lenses usually, but yeah, if you're running, gunning, if you're out doing vlogging, absolutely ideal lens.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, very good.
Lovely.
Well, we just you might have come across and seen us at the photography show, which is the big photo and video show in Birmingham at the NEC. We were there last month, and it's about 4 weeks ago now, isn't it? Yeah. And really good show. Of course, the Queen's funeral was on one of the 4 days of the show, so it was closed that day. But yeah, it was nice to sort of be back at sort of quite busy levels, as almost pre-pandemic kind of levels.
Yeah, so lovely to see you all if you were there.
Yeah. And we got one thing we got asked a lot at the show was about Canon RF and whether we're going to be in that mount at any time soon. The answer is, if you're wondering, is that we don't really know. It's kind of above our pay grade, really. We above mine anyway. I don't know about you on the set.
I'm not sure. We'll discuss that later.
Yeah, but it's we're not really sure. We hope so. We know that Sigma as a company is very well aware of the demand, and I think as a company we would like to be in the mount. We hope at some point we will be. But one quite interesting thing was that people were saying, we had a lot of people come up to the stand and say, we can't buy RF lenses yet, but can you use Canon EF lenses? So Sigma Fit EF lenses on a modern RF mirrorless camera? And the answer is yes. And we thought we get so many questions that we thought we'd bring one along so that we could show you. So, what's that? Yeah, that's the one. Right, so that's a Canon R6. You're probably aware that the mount of the R6 is a different size to the mount on the on Canon DSLR, slightly different, very similar, but and that means you can't just put a Canon DSLR lens on here. You need one of these, which is an EOS R2.
Canon EF to EOS R mount adapter.
You got it. And it's only about 120 quid or something, so they're relatively cheap. There's no glass in it. It's just a pass-through adapter, and all it does, really simple. All it does is it just makes that bayonet mount with those contacts into that bayonet mount with those contacts. There's nothing more complicated than that, and because it's just a pass-through adapter, it's super fast. There's no lag at all. You can just use the lenses as you would, and they would as you would on a DSLR, and they would behave exactly as you would expect. So you can pop that on there, and then you can attach an EF lens. So a lot of people say, well, yeah, but if I put like a Sigma EF lens, will it work? Will the AF work?
Will it work, Tim?
It will work. It will work. It works. It works blinking well. That's how well it works. So you just pop it on as normal. and you don't need to do anything. There's no setting up to do. It just works exactly as you would use a Sigma lens on a Canon DSLR. So the focusing is very fast. Not that you can see this, but it is very fast. And just shoots as normal. It's a brilliant bit of kit.
Yeah. So does that mean that then all of the Sigma global vision lenses that we've got in our range will be able to go on?
It does. So there's 20. I think we've got 24 current EF lenses in the range. So 24 current Canon fit lenses. 3 of them are APS-C, 21 are full frame, and all of them work seamlessly. Just pop the adapter on, pop the lens on, you're away. So just having that adapter and being able to put on a Sigma lens with a choice of it opens up another 24 lenses to you.
Loads of lenses, yeah.
It's really, sort of unlocks the door to a lot more glass.
Yeah, a lot more creative choices to experiment with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
of course, also to say we've got lenses in our range that Canon just simply doesn't have.
Yeah.
So it's not just can you get the same lens for less. It's can you get something a bit different.
Yeah, definitely. And again, full information for the whole range of our global vision lenses in Canon EF Fit can be found on our website.
Indeed. And as well as looking online at these lenses, you can actually get one in your hands and try it using our Try Before You Buy rental service.
Yeah, it's called Sigma Select. If you follow the link down in the description below, we have a wide selection of both Canon EF, Nikon, F5 and DG DN lenses for you to be able to try. And currently, we've got a promotion running. What can you do in 72, meaning that you will get free 3-day hires for free. Just needs to pay a deposit, which will be then refunded back once you've completed your loan. So and then you can choose from how long you want it from then. Yeah,
and if you shoot some good stuff in the 72-hour free hire, then and by the way, that includes shipping. It's all paid for. We courier it to your house and pick it up again. Yeah. Then you can share the images with us, and we'll get them on social media.
And if you share using hashtag #ShareMySigma, we'll pick them up, and then if you're lucky, we might be able to share them onto our social platforms.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Great. Okay. Well, probably the last thing to mention is our workshops. So we've had a year now of doing workshops, which have been really successful, and it just has allowed the public to come along and come onto a workshop with an expert photographer, usually one of our ambassadors, but not always. And we bring a load of lenses along. You can try them out. You get some tuition from the ambassador. They're really small groups, like usually around about 6. And we're trying to dot them around Britain a little bit, which is great. And I think the feedback so far has been fantastic.
Been along to a few of them, and they've done fantastically well. It's a brilliant day out.
Yeah. All the workshops this year have been £75, which is really affordable. And we've only got 2 left this year. One is sold out, and one is where's the last one? It's at Land's End, isn't it?
The last one's at Land's End.
A bit of a trek, but and then next year we'll have another calendar of workshops, and there's even more next year, and there's going to be even more variety, and they're even more spread around Britain, so that's great news. I think we're probably going to be looking at about 15 or so workshops next year, so we're
quite a few to choose from. Yeah, and
we're going to announce that soon, so that's great.
And the best way to keep up to date with them is to sign up to our newsletter, so we'll send out information to you once it's ready.
Yeah, and you can follow that link and it'll take you there. Perfect. Well, it was really good to see you all.
Yeah.
And
hope to see you in the next one.
Yeah, see you soon. Cheers, guys.
See you later.
Bye-bye.